arms feel?
It's normal.
Good. Sometimes people play these octaves and then their arms want to fall off.
No.
But you look like you're pretty in control of it and not tired.
Actually, the whole time I fought the piano.
You fought the piano. How so?
It's my personal problem. Different room, different sounds, different touch.
Yeah, that's.
It kind of throws me off.
This is the problem of every pianist.
Every
pianist.
Majority.
Yes. All of us, we go to a different piano. It's hard. You have to know how to adjust. So what do you do when you fight the piano? How do you respond? You play stronger?
From it was so sharp. I was in shock, you know.
Oh, it's too loud, you think?
Yeah, it's too sharp, too bright.
Well, how?
And then I had to una corda.
No, you don't need una corda. You don't need una corda with this piece.
Yeah, because I played it less direct.
You know the
so
effect.
It's not to attack. Yeah.
The psychological effect of being afraid of it being too loud is worse for your playing than accepting it and not worrying about it. And not worrying that we're hearing it the same way. Because I promise you, we are hearing it differently than you are hearing it.
How the audience listens. I was afraid that they heard it the same as I heard it.
But you can't think that way as a pianist. You can't think, oh, did I do that too loud? You just have to, in some sense, you have to not care. Because really, I promise you this, if you don't care, I mean, you have to care you want to play how you want to play, but don't care that was too sharp for them. If you care about that too much, you're never going to be able to. If you show them that you are confident, they won't even notice that you didn't like that. You know, because we don't want to respond tensely, we don't want to use the una corda, but we do want to know about, okay, go back to that spot that you said scared you. This is good, this is good. Well, your first problem is that you're attacking the note from above. It's a little aggressive. Now, on most pianos, I think it's going to come out, maybe in your practice room, it doesn't come out strong.
Yes.
But on most pianos, most big grand pianos in a hall, that type of motion, it's going to come out a little aggressive. Start more with your fingers on the keys. By the way, this was going to be my first comment, was that you need to unify the compositional element of this piece, which is the rum-ba, rum-ba. So the first note shouldn't even be so strong. The first, and that happens again later. So we start the piece rum-ba, rum-bum. By the way, why do you need two hands here? I don't think it's an octave. Yes, it doesn't need to be. It's not. You know.
Because I just want it to be more
dramatic or something.
Yeah.
But it's. I think there are moments in Liszt for drama, but this beginning is not really. It's quite. He writes F, and he writes a very. It's a drum beat. So it's not so pianistic even, and then the rum-ba, it's noble. And so when you do something a little bit extra, it's a little bit, you made it a little bit maybe vulgar. But the vulgar part of Liszt is coming later. But play the beginning quite normally. argue that you did it the opposite of how it should be done.
Yes, I can do the next step.
You did it yum
Yeah.
ba boom. Yes. You might even want to play this accent with an up rum ba and a down on the second one.
Down.
Instead of up sending you down, ba-dum, ba-dum.
I see.
I wouldn't hit the bottom one. Yes. This is more in line with the beginning articulation of the dynamic idea. Rum ba dum rum ba bum. These could be a little bit lighter. Not light, but yum ba bum rum ba bum. The rhythm needs to be a little sharper there. Yum ba bum. Now you could do a little something more with your arm. Let me show you a little bit. Instead of getting your volume with finger, you could do something like. The problem is it's harder to play sharply this way. But if you don't want a sharp accent there, you could do it with just a. So you keep your fingers on the keys and you drop your arm, you will get a more. This is. Yep. Now it's not that fast actually. Dum ba dum ba dum ba ba ba. You're rushing it. See, it's easier than you thought because you were rushing it down. Now don't get timid though. When you want to do it this way with the arm, you need to work with your arms.
Mm-hmm.
It can't sound gentle. I've been reading lately the diaries of a student of Liszt's. So if you're interested in what Liszt actually taught, you can read the diary of several of his students. They kept diaries of his lessons. And they wrote down even exact quotes of what he said in the music. Now something that Liszt often wrote is, when you want big octaves, big sound, you need to use your whole body. And he would say, you need to lift your entire upper arms and come down and lift. And we can talk about octaves later, but when you want very loud octaves, you do that, you come straight down. He would even come down on a flat thumb like this. Yes, and when you do that, you have to a little bit flatten the finger. But what you get is use the fleshy part of the thumb. Interesting, huh?
Interesting, very awesome.
Now that was one thing that his student wrote, that he specifically instructed to stand perpendicular on your thumb. And that's how he played. Now, try not to hit the piano this way with that. You don't want to play, but you want the energy to come from here. It's actually quite a warm sound when you do it with your body, not with your fingers. So that's something that you can practice. The wrist comes up, but also this entire thing. This strong. And then this moves, yeah. You know, before this, nobody played piano like that. Nobody played piano like that, but Liszt broke all the rules. And they say people say the first modern pianist because he had all these ideas about intuitive ways of playing this crazy stuff that he wrote. Was that, but look at children. You know, I've seen little kids, they go up to the piano, they do that. Very natural. You say play with your thumb, and they don't go like this. They don't go like this. That's not natural. They go like this. Okay, I want to play there. Now, sometimes that's the right thing to do. It's a very instinctual thing. So we want to play things in not the way we're always taught to play, but we want to do things, oh, I want to play that thumb loud. You'll never make a bad sound. Because you're using your natural. Yeah. Yes. So just work with that idea in your octaves. But in general, the idea of rum, ba. Yes. Already so much better. Yes. Keep going. Keep going. Let's go further. Now, be especially on the lookout for places where he departs from the pattern. So it's rum bum 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 ba 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 ba. You see, that's one of the first spots where there's a downbeat accent. Mm-hmm. It is the first. No, here, and then here. So this is Liszt wanted this idea that we're expecting rum ba 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 ba. Different. Wah, da, 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 da. So maybe cockier in your attitude there. See, it's different. It's a different character. Then rum ba bum. Exactly. Now you are embodying the idea. This is Liszt's way. You embody the idea with the way you do it, and you even have a little bit of attitude when you play. Bum, 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 bum. Going on. Now, the way you do these octaves, don't show off with them at all. Just play them in time. Yes, and try to. They're not, and it's not. Still keep it in the context of the rhythm. Yeah. So it's not a perfect crescendo. A little bit on the beat. What I'm meaning is, still show the beat a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
So the beat is, here's beat 1. So yes, and simple. Now there's little things like the left hand is legato there. Now take a little bit more time there. And I would play it quietly though, calming down. Good, because you did too much.
Yes, I do too much.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's the idea. And then you're back into it.
From my playing, lots of time I did too much of everything.
But it's better to do too much of whatever you want to do than to do too little. Because you make an impression. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And notice it's still forte. So it's just it's not the strongest you can play, but it's yeah. Yes.
More.
So you've got to save. You've got to save
Save.
more. Even here, you're doing a little too much. Dun 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 dun. So this, I would say, is not aggressive yet. Don't rush. So dun 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 dun. I would say you're rushing this a little. Yum, ba-da, yum, ba-da, ya-da-da-da. That's the idea. I think it's better. You're embodied now. You're switching more between graceful. It sounded a little bit more chaotic the first time, just because the modes mixed a little bit. There's the aggressive, and then it seeps into the here.
Yes, I see.
So, but it's good because you're dealing with real problems of being a musician. Your idea of being too aggressive and that seeping into your graceful playing is a good problem to have, because a lot of people don't have any feelings. You know, a lot of people don't play with ideas and feelings. So calming the first one down, not too much, and then being able to do the more graceful part. Let's go on because we have to get to the technical stuff later. Don't play the first one down, down. Let it. Yes, that's it. That's it. It's up, down. You have an interesting idea to do the trill with your right hand there.
Yes.
I'd say,
I think it's more comfortable.
yeah, of course it's more comfortable.
I mean,
That was fine. What you
can
just did.
Did it with the left hand or so? Like?
You can do it. First of all, you're making much too much of the trill as if it's the most important thing in the piece. It's actually just one beat. Rum, bar, rum, rum, bar. Look, that's so much better than what you did. And you didn't even care about it that time. So sometimes you have to not get fussy.
Yeah, over every little things.
Little things like that. Bar, rum.
Maybe
It's
I
easy.
see trio and then I see like crescendo. You know.
We all worry too much, me included. I really care about this trill, and I want it to be a great trill. And so you think about doing it many ways, but really if you practice it, making it great with your left hand, and then in performance you just relax and don't worry about it, it's probably going to come out right. So yeah, we got to work hard in the practice room to make things special, but then at some point we can't sound fussy when we're playing yum bum ba bum bur yum. That's all we need. This music is not wild yet. This is the beginning. The music's going to get wild later. So it's noble. I'd say this is noble. So yeah, play that with your left hand. Going on. Now, how is this different than other stuff that he wrote? What else? I see something that I didn't see before.
I mean, compared to this or the
Yeah, compared with everything else.
everything else.
Yes. It's not in the notes. It's not the rallentando. What about the phrase, the legato sign covering two measures?
Yes, it's like quite long. Compared
We
to
haven't had a phrase,
Yes.
legato phrase.
Okay.
We've had a
It's
yum,
like slow,
bum,
yes,
bum,
slow,
bum, bum.
slow,
We've had a
yes.
very, and then, ya da 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 da. See? That's right. That's right. And it's in the music. So there's so many things to examine and to change the character of, according to what Liszt wrote. And Liszt, that's fortissimo, but here it's a poco rallentado. It's a little espressivo. Ya da 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 da. And then, ya da 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 da. Copy again, yes. I was talking about?
Okay,
A little bit of a break.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pause. Not too much. Not too much. That was good. It's you're nearing too much, but this is the right idea. We will notice that in the audience, that you are fully in control of your interpretation. You are not bound by, you have to go on because you're playing the metronome. No, you can take those kinds of dramatic pauses whenever you want. It gives us a little bit of confidence listening to you. This guy knows what he wants. Continue.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Because
Why do you need to ask?
I'm afraid that I did it too long.
But what about doing it just in time?
In time it's just feel like
Simple?
robotic.
No, it's not about being robotic. You can play a trill expressively, but play it in a rhythm. Don't play it da-da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-dun, don't play it mechanically, but yum, shake it out. Nothing wrong with that. Now, you worry too much because maybe you listen to a lot of recordings.
Yeah, many.
You listen to too many recordings.
Yes.
And you hear people do it many different ways. And you think, oh, I like that way. He makes the trill really long. Oh, I like that way. They do it.
I mean, sometimes they just
don't play.
They did too much that it's not like 8th notes in the left anymore.
First of all, what is a Hungarian Rhapsody about? Don't think about what other people do. You think about what is the idea of the piece, of all the Hungarian Rhapsodies. What kind of music is it?
It's a free spirit, gypsy,
Gypsy, you're getting more. This is folk music.
Yes.
Now Liszt is mimicking on the piano the gypsy folk music. He is transcribing it into the piano. So, would you describe folksy music, any kind of folk music from any country, would you describe it as eccentric or intellectual?
Eccentric?
Intellectual? No.
No, it's not.
Right, it's not.
It's
A little simple?
No, get up like wide sometimes.
I think it's kind of
out of control.
No,
Not totally fine.
I think folk music tends to be very simple but interesting. But simple. They play in rhythm. They've got a guy on the drum. That's why it's so dance-like. But the rhythm cannot be too. That's a pianistic, romantic, whatever. Folksy. Simple effects. Effects of the trill is a shaking effect. Yeah, that's right. And then from the simple thing comes a flight of imagination with the change in harmony. And then, now this is Liszt. Dreamy. Yes. Yes. And then, what happens? Presto. Now, do you think you played it?
Very annoying part.
First of all, when you play it, you sound like you want to play it at the tempo that you played it, but you can't quite do it. I think it's more important to make it clear than to get the exact tempo that you're going for. Now, Liszt would agree with me on that. Liszt said, this is a quote from one of his students' diaries, "I don't care how fast you can play this, but I care, can you make me imagine the scene? Can you make me," then he talked about this with the Chopin heroic polonaise with the octaves. Now people want to play that, show how fast they can play that. And listen, do not play that as fast as you can. I want to see the army marching over the hill. So here, yes, it's presto. But if you want to play and it gets frantic, it's too fast. So it still has to have a, look, he writes a tenuto marking even. That's much better. Much better. Don't try to outdo Argerich. You were playing it faster than Argerich was. What do you think?
Much better.
Yes.
More in control.
It's more right musically.
More details in the music.
It's not about you as a pianist that you can control that better. It's about the music sounds right now. Before it sounds wrong. Because I can't tell where the beat is before.
I see.
I don't feel it. Now I feel it. And here's where the gypsy element of a little something interesting on the fourth measure. Very nice. Very nice. Continue. Play from there one more time. You could even do it slower and it would still sound good. You don't have to do it. Yes? It's all. There's no tuner markings here. It's not bum, 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 bum. It's bum, 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 bum. Much better. Sometimes I have a student do how they want to do the rhythm just with wrist motions. Bum, 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 bum. So that it's not a finger thing. It's not a this. It's a. So make sure your wrist is really moving in that. Your wrist is moving with your fingers. It's going to make it more feeling stable. Yeah.
Okay, and I cannot rush if my grip is together with my fingers. Yeah.
You cannot rush if you're doing bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, impossible.
Yeah.
But with my only fingers alone. Yeah.
See, fingers are not reliable for rhythm. We need fingers sometimes, but really the rhythm comes from your body. So try to give more with the wrist. Bum, 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 bum. Keep going. That's how I would practice it that way. Okay. Going into this part, I liked your espressivo. Yeah. Do you think it's a little slow?
Maybe a little bit.
Each beat is about 2 seconds. Stop. See, beat 1 goes to here in time. So bum da da dum bum. Stop. And then you can go da 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 dum. Go. Yes. You see, that's how he wrote it. Go here. That's the idea. Yeah. He's very, very specific about where the fermatas are and what tempo it's in. It's espressivo, but it's an andante, not a adagio. And so yeah. And so don't let it get too bogged down, yeah, in every single note. Now here, no fermatas for a little while. That's one thing. You try it from here. This is where you might want to not attack the octaves this way, but with a... Yes, this is the... It's a very nice sound, yeah. Don't rush it. Even on the 5, you could play it a little bit on the fleshy. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, and you don't even have to work that hard. Beautiful. Beautiful sound. So this is very
nice. Very nice sound.
Very, and how's it feel?
I don't have to tense up.
Yes.
It just feels very natural, very lazy.
Natural.
Actually,
It feels lazy. It doesn't sound lazy. It sounds rich. Beautiful. Beautiful. So sometimes fleshy parts of your fingers with arm motions is a better approach when you have a lot of time. When you have time, you're not going crazy, but yeah. We need to look at that part because how much time do we have? Do we have enough time? I want to make sure we have enough time because we need to work on the next part. Okay, good. Let's see. So this part I want to talk about. We'll go for a few more minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. What do you think about this part?
Oh, it's the allegro is from the starting part. It's not too fast. Yet.
Yeah, but what is this F? What is that about?
Oh, you mean the...
Interpretively, what is the meaning of that? I mean, it's just Fs, so that it's not that. That's not important. What about the way he wrote it with the rhythm and the accent? What's that?
I don't know. It sounds like a preparation.
Wait, isn't this the same as the beginning? Rum
Yes.
ba 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 ba.
It's pretty dense.
It's the beginning rhythm. We start the piece. Now we're. It's an echo of the previous, of the beginning. So, I don't think you played it that way the first time. You played it maybe more expressly.
More expressive.
Yeah. No, this is just an echo of the drum beat. Fading away. And then. Don't play the accent too expressively. Simple is good. Yes. Speak and not getting in the way of it, not doing too much fancy stuff around it, but just letting the idea, it makes the music very understandable. And that's another thing people said about Liszt's playing, was that he made the idea perfectly clear. It was easy to listen to him because you knew exactly what the music was about, what his main idea was at all times. Now we need to talk about how to work on octaves. How do you practice fast octaves? Like this, fast and light. Do you always just play it in the exact rhythm that's written?
No.
How do you practice it? Do you practice it in different rhythms?
Yeah, so most of the time I kind of, do a little bit rubato.
Yes. I would recommend.
And I let my arms go into different positions,
yes,
and angles. Like
yes.
Not
when they're this fast, you have to be able to play with both sides of your hand with a lot of finger. Yeah.
Repetition. I use alternative between finger.
Okay, it's good. Now, I want to recommend playing in different rhythms than it's even written. Just to get, have you ever heard of Alfred Cortot? Let me show you for an example. I might not only play, I might do. And not because the rhythm is interesting or anything, but what that does to your control of your arm moving with your fingers. When you lock into a rhythm that goes and goes and goes, we tend to
get connection between the
get a little tight.
Yes.
So practicing being able to take a break between different notes. And then I would do. Now, it's gonna, when you go back to playing it the normal way, it's gonna feel a little bit looser.
Oh.
Really? There's a guy named Alfred Cortot. Do you know about Alfred Cortot? Yeah, Alfred Cortot is a famous French pianist. He wrote editions of the Chopin etudes where he did all sorts of crazy exercises where you you dance around the problem rather than just bash your head against the wall. Rather than just, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this. You do it a lot of different ways, not only the way that it's written, and it somehow makes it easier to do it. You actually make it harder. You make it harder, you're going to go, dum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum. You're going to make it harder in a way, but then making it harder makes it easy to play the normal thing. So with very technical passages, fast octaves, I practice them many different ways. And just to look up what Cortot recommends for the octave etude for the Chopin. Very interesting. And he also does things where he will, if it's legato, and say he's going, you need to play that, he will just so that you're holding one finger and playing legato with another finger, all sorts of crazy things like that. Now, he was a great pianist, and Claudio Arrau also recommended Cortot's exercises to his students as you've got to make something that's difficult even harder than it is in your practicing. So don't confront very difficult things directly, only.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's going to be helpful to make it harder, and then to go back, it's going to feel easier. Yeah? Okay, we'll stop there. Bravo! You're welcome.